Okay, so we're now recording. So hello everyone, thank you very much for tuning in. It has been a while since I did a recorded video, but something exciting has happened recently that I'm honoured to be a part of, and I wanted to do some interviewing to share some other amazing ladies that have shared their story recently as part of a book collaboration called The Girls Who Refuse to Quit. And the first person that I am interviewing today is Alison. So my name's Sharon Crowley. If you've never seen me before, Alison, I'm literally going to let you have the floor. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh gosh, I'm just me really. Had kind of several different experiences through life that made me kind of retreat into myself really, and not feel confident about who I am or what I'm about and all that kind of thing. It's kind of going back to childhood, I suppose. And I was very, very poorly when I was a baby, and throughout childhood I was very poorly as well. And so as a result, I was very kind of cosseted and like protected, like as though there was cotton wool around me throughout pretty much all of my childhood, which was all done for exactly the right reasons. But it kind of had the effect on me personally to kind of not allowing me to kind of to branch out and to find out who I was. I felt like I wasn't able to make mistakes because they never wanted me to take risks of any kind. And so through that experience, I kind of learned that it's wrong to kind of try new things. It's wrong to kind of express my own opinions if they were different from other people's opinions. And so I kind of became a shadow of myself, I guess, even though I didn't know who I was. Because I was never given the opportunity to explore who I was. So you kind of meander through life, and I had a bit of a rebellious streak, but it was always kind of squashed because for years I've been told I was this good girl, and good girls don't, they don't talk back to adults, they don't, they don't have wild opinions, they don't go off and do unsuitable things. And so kind of when you get to the teenage years, when you start kind of pushing those boundaries a bit further, whenever I tried to, I was immediately quashed down. And so I kind of felt that, again, I was kind of just not allowed to be me and find out who I was. And so fast forward a little bit, and I got married because that was what was expected of me. And the man I married is a very nice man, we're still friends. But it wasn't me, because I actually never wanted to get married. And I remember saying that in my bedroom, but not getting married was not an option. So I kind of did the good thing, and I was got married and had this wonderful wedding. It was a really lovely wedding. And I had lovely dress and everything, but I kind of felt like it was my parents' wedding, because they wanted their daughter to have a big, wonderful white wedding, and I'm not a big, wonderful white wedding kind of person at all, really. And so again, even my wishes on my wedding day were not, I wasn't allowed to be me on my wedding day. And then fast forward again a number of years. I was married for 20 years, and 20 years, and had 3 beautiful boys. But it got to a point where I just couldn't do it anymore. I realized I wasn't me. I didn't know who I was, but I wasn't able to be me in where I was. I just felt so cramped and stifled and suffocated. And so I just left. I just walked out and didn't go back one night, which sounds horrendous. But
sounds like a big build up, and it's not something that you did overnight, is it? I'm sure it's a lot of thought got into it.
Oh God, yeah. Years, and do I, don't I, and it was just took so much courage. And so I rented a house without my husband knowing for 7 months, bought furniture so that it was going to be a home and not just a house when I did go. Obviously I kind of took my children with me as well. And then a few years after that, I went to an empowerment day, part of someone I met through a networking group, with being self-employed and everything. And it was a day where we were learning how to use camera, ironically, on our phone and to do like lives and things. So it was really funny. But part of the day we each had to talk about something that kind of, was important to us. And I thought I was going to talk about my time in Australia. But when I got up and I spoke, just something completely different came out of my mouth. And so I'm like, oh, okay. And then, sorry, slightly, about an hour or so before that, we all went round the room and each of us shared what we were going to talk about. And one gentleman who was on the course shared his experience, and I can't remember what it was, but I know that it deeply resonated with me. And then about half an hour later, as we were still going around the room, because there was quite a lot of people there, I was actually physically sick, which sounds horrendous, and I was mortified. But I realized at that point that a real shift has happened, and I realized what I'd kind of knew years and years ago, but never acted upon. And so I just started laughing hysterically. I bet I thought, she's right, Wonka, bonkers person here. And so I went off to clean myself up. But it was that moment of clarity, and then I knew, but I didn't know what to do with it. It's like everything, that moment, everything changed, but nothing changed at the same time. But the thought never went away, and the realization never went away. And then a couple of years later, I ended up, being quite poorly again, and actually I ended up with cancer. And I'm sure that was just the manifestation of all the years of stress and not being, I've forgotten the word, authentic to myself.
Yes.
And it had found a release, and it was just like a way to get out. And I was literally coming out at that point, literally and metaphorically, and so that's kind of my story.
And that is, one powerful, amazing story crammed into like minutes. And you have wrote your chapter in The Girls Who Refused to Quit, which we obviously want people to go and read, so they can read it in a bit more detail. What you've just shared a sprinkle in there, or a very fast overview. But why now? Why the time to share your story now? What was the reason behind that?
I think it was a way of processing things for myself, but also I'm very aware that, it is quite a taboo subject still, even in 2020, when we started the project, and through to now 2021, there's still so many people who are not able to be themselves, not just for the reason that I wasn't, but for other reasons, I'm sure. And so if my experience helps another person see that they can kind of come out of their own shadows and find their own light and allow themselves to be who they are and who they truly want to be, then that's the whole reason for writing it. It's not about me, it's about helping others see that there is a light that they can shine in their own right, and hopefully give them some courage.
Yeah, because I think there's so many.
It's okay to be you.
Yeah, so many people that I'm sure will resonate, even if not with all of it, with parts of it, from being poorly as a child and wrapped up in cotton wool, to never being able to be themselves and have an opinion, to when you went to the program and then realized, and then, like you said, touching on cancer as well, so much there. Well, thank you so much for sharing that very briefly with me today, even though I've read your chapter and absolutely loved it. We are going to drop the links in to the book itself, so you can actually read some other amazing stories, as well as Alison's, The Girls Who Refused to Quit. But Alison, if somebody wanted to reach out to you today, to connect with you, to ask you some questions about your story, or for a bit of support, where can they find you?
And I'm on Facebook and Instagram. So Facebook, I'm Alison Aaron-Stead. And on Instagram, I'm Alison Stead, medium and author. I changed that from writer to author. So that's
Good.
where they can find me. So
Well, thank you so much today. So please, if you want to ask Alison any questions, want to connect with her, then you can go on Facebook or Instagram. Thank you very much for your time today, Alison.
well, thank you for speaking with me, Sharon. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.